Hey everyone, Jack Fancycan here. We will be drafting from the number 2 spot today for this video. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys all so much for checking this out. And please remember to subscribe. Very important for us. We need to start getting this thing off the ground a little bit more. So please go ahead and subscribe here so you can keep up to date on all the content that we post and all the stuff that we do. And let's get started. Alright, so we're about to get this draft started. We're going to first go with Christian McCaffrey here. Not Kamara, even though the thing is higher. I like McCaffrey way better and stick with him, stick with my guy. Coming into this turn, I'm probably looking to get, there are a lot of running backs going off the board, so I'm looking to probably lock up a wide receiver, possibly find a running back. The tight end there is looking decent, but I really don't like my options here. I'm going to check the running backs, but yeah, there's no one that I really want to take besides maybe Aaron Jones, but I think I'll kind of wait on that one. Yeah, so I guess my best option here would probably be Mike Evans. So we're going to take Evans, and we are going to hopefully, and we're going to be able to grab Aaron Jones right now and not have a problem with our running backs for a while. So we locked up 2 good running backs so far and a good wide receiver. We're going to mostly focus on trying to get wideouts now and fill out that spot. Galladay there, Sony Michel's there. Given the circumstances, there are a lot of people I still like around here, but I know I'm only going to get a couple options. I like Galladay enough to where I think that he's going to be a good enough player to actually put up a decent amount of fantasy points, but he's still kind of unproven. Even though he was relatively consistent last year, he still wasn't like a guy that I was like, oh, he stands out to me as one of the better guys in the league. You know, he's not that type of player. But looking at him though, I do think that I want to grab him here. I'll take him, and now I have an option to pick either Sony Michel or go with Mike Williams and reach a little bit early on him, but I don't think I really want to do that. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to lock up Michel here. We're just going to say whatever for wideouts right now, mostly focused on running backs, but Michel is a super high ceiling, so I don't feel like I'm really losing much by not drafting a wide receiver here. So we have a flex spot now, and all of these wideouts going off the board. We're probably not going to end up with someone we would really want as a wide receiver, and you can see that because we got Will Fuller here and Sammy Watkins. I'm hoping Christian Kirk is still available, so we're going to consider drafting him. But right now, I see a hole in the tight end spot, hole at the quarterback spot, and wide receiver. I don't want to go quarterback because, again, I'd really like to wait on quarterbacks and draft probably one of these guys somewhere around here because, none of them are really bad options except for him. I don't know why he's ranked so high. But I think that I'm going to go ahead and lock up a tight end here first, and then we're going to wait and see what's taken. Alright. So, pretty much the same choice. We're going to go Kirk here because I feel the most comfortable with his situation. Now, I mean, it's not perfect. I don't know how reliable he's going to be, but again, we're going high ceiling here for a wide receiver 3, and he could end up being a wide receiver 2 type of a player by the end of the year. So I'm not really I am worried in the fact that he's not there yet. He hasn't proven. But I feel good enough about him to where I can put him as a wide receiver 3, especially with the running back core that I have and also having a decent tight end. Oh, Jared Goff got taken. Alright, we're going to have to audible here. Oh, maybe not. We got Breeze. Okay. Well, either way, we waited a little bit too long for our quarterback. Goff got taken in the 7th round, which really isn't the end of the world. But we did fill out a lot of our main team, so that's really not a problem. I think we are going to pick Drew Brees here, lock up our quarterback, because the next option is Jameis Winston, Roethlisberger, etc., not really the best people that are there. So we're going to grab Brees, and he should be able to do a decent enough job for us during the season. And now the turn, well, might as well just lock up a backup wide receiver, because that's kind of what we really need here. Yeah, we'll draft Corey Davis. So looking over this team, I feel pretty confident. Take a look at the running backs. Running backs look good. We have Christian McCaffrey, Aaron Jones, and Sony Michel, all of which have very high ceilings for this season. Christian McCaffrey is going to be one of those great guys that are playing, but our receivers are just not something that I love. I don't really like Mike Evans in general just because he's kind of one of the lower end wide receiver ones, and I really don't enjoy having to take him, a player of his caliber, so high. You know, like I much rather would have gotten, like Tyreek Hill was the player picked before me. Like much rather would have gotten him. I would have felt a lot more comfortable with that, and I would have felt a lot more comfortable with getting Kenny Galladay and Christian Kirk afterwards. But the receiver core is shaky, and that's just how it's going to be. But make up for that with Hunter Henry there at our tight end, actually like a decent tight end and has an opportunity to actually play well, and Sony Michel, who again is looking like he could have a breakout season if he stays on the field. So I like this team. We're going to go ahead and draft again. Christian McCaffrey got picked first. Okay, we're going to be taking Saquon here. Similar situation. Different guys, though. I don't love having Mike Evans as my wide receiver here. But I think what we're going to do is avoid running backs on this round, and we're going to go ahead and draft Evans, and then we're going to try and get Kittle at the turn. Alright, so on this one, we actually got Kittle on the turn, so we're going to go ahead and pick him. I would pick AB in this situation, but because of what's going on with his helmet, we're going to avoid him for right now. So we got a running back, wide receiver, and tight end. And I feel pretty good about that because we've locked up a lot of good positions. Seeing Derrick Henry here chilling in the 4th round, that's exciting for me. I really like him this year. I think he has high potential of actually playing and kind of stepping up in that role. And even if we blow a pick here and he doesn't end up working out, at least we lost a 4th rounder and not something that was higher. So I'm going to go ahead and lock up Henry. I know that we got a problem with a bye week here, but also whatever. It's not really the end of the world. We don't have many good options for wideouts really right now. I'm going to take a look at the other ones. Mike Williams is there, and I think we're going to have to grab him. And I've already said my piece on Mike Williams. So this team that I'm putting together so far, I'm actually really not liking it. I got Saquon, I got Henry, but I don't love the wide receivers out of here so far, and Kittle is a good option to have as a tight end, but it's looking a little shaky for me right now, and I don't feel the most comfortable with it. So for me, I think that drafting Alshon Jeffrey right here would just make me feel even worse taking a look at it, but it would fill out a decent spot in our wide receivers. Christian Kirk is already gone, but yeah, so it's looking like Jeffrey's our best available option. So we're gonna grab him, but I just feel uncomfortable taking him like at this point in the draft. Not at this point in the draft, just with this team, because so far it's a lot of really inconsistent wide receivers. Take a look at it: Mike Williams, Mike Evans, Alshon Jeffrey, not proven, proven, but I mean has had struggles, and then Jeffrey drops balls a lot, and also he hates the Bears, and I'm a little salty about that. But it's all right. It's really not looking too bad. The names are good enough, and we'll get some points every single week. Moving on to the next one, Latavius Murray is sitting there on the Saints, and I think that he's going to take over Mark Ingram's role. So being able to pick him up late is a pretty good bargain, and I like him especially as a flex. So went ahead and grabbed him. Now Jared Goff already went off the board again, which is really upsetting because we missed on him twice now. But we got Cam over here, who doesn't look terrible, and I could just double up on quarterbacks to make sure I have a guy. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So right here, I'm going to drop Cam Newton. And now all teams have quarterbacks, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to drop Ben Roethlisberger at the turn on the next one. Probably take some like Jerome Miles in here as a sleeper. Then we're going to hold off for Big Ben. Oh, James Washington would be a guy I think I would rather had, but I was blanking and forgot about him. Yeah, now we're going to go ahead and take Big old Ben. And now, boom, we have quarterbacks that we're sure are going to be fine. Now, I did pick him on... I did pick similar bye weeks, but whatever. We'll just ignore that for right now. So, looking at this team, quarterback has a spot to where... I mean, Cam isn't a bad guy to have as a quarterback, really, especially because I have Roethlisberger backing him up. But I still don't love having him as my starting guy. I much rather would have had, like, Goff or someone else. But, again, we suffer at the quarterback, so we can make sure that everything else is in line. So I did my job, and I really should be happy with getting Newton here. Saquon Barkley is a great player to get at the number 2 spot. So, I mean, I'm happy. I'll take him number 1 overall. And then Derrick Henry, who's a little bit of a question mark, so we got a question at running back here, but we already have Saquon. So, again, if he doesn't work out, whatever. Then we get to our wide receivers, which I've mentioned how I don't necessarily love. But let's go ahead and say that Mike Williams just has a good year this year. Mike Evans has a decent one, and Alshon Jeffrey has a similar one that we had last year. This team is good. So I don't need to be worried too much about that, the receiving core. But again, just the inconsistencies and the not being a top player, not, being in like a prime, like for Alshon, or Mike Evans isn't a prime, but he doesn't have the quarterback situation that we necessarily love. So with Carson Wentz being injured so often, but when he's playing, yeah, okay. So I do feel better about this, and I kind of talked myself into liking this team a little bit more. Latavius Murray, who I think is going to have a Mark Ingram type of role, not as big, but decent enough. And yeah, so this team really isn't too terrible either. And that does it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know how we're doing here. Check out the podcast and all the other videos that we've been posting out. We've been working real hard to get all this stuff out for you guys near the season. And yeah, please remember to subscribe, guys. It's real big. We need to make sure that we get those numbers up. And thank you all so much. See you later.